guys, welcome back. If you are new here, click the subscribe button. Also, if you are new here, hi, hello, my name is Kayla, and today I'm going to be doing my 4-month postpartum update, as well as coping with birth trauma. So I have been debating for a very long time. This is just going to be like a sit down and chat with me kind of video. So I've been debating for some time whether I wanted to do this video, and I've decided that I did. I am now 4 months postpartum, and now I'm 4 months out from my birth trauma, and I just wanted to sit down and kind of like chit chat with you guys and talk to you about like what has been going on the last 4 months and how I'm feeling, and just kind of like sit down and have a chit chat. It's kind of a lot to talk about. I haven't talked about it in depth since it happened, since my birth story. Yes, I'm going to cry in this video. I will try not to, but like, it's still a very big part of me, and a part of, it's changed me. It really has, in multiple ways. My birth has changed me, and if my husband is okay with it, I actually kind of want to do a sit down video with him talking about my birth. He's not a camera guy. He's not a social media person. He actually hates the camera. But if he agrees, I actually want to do a sit down video with him and just like talk about his perspective of my birth. So if you guys want to see that, definitely let me know. So I am now 4 months postpartum, and I'm going to talk about just like my postpartum experience, and then I will get into the whole birth trauma thing. But I am now 4 months postpartum. It is absolutely mind-boggling that I'm already 4 months postpartum with my last baby. So there will be no more buns in this oven, and it's both bittersweet and happiness at the same time to say that. Like, I'm happy and sad, and like it's just like a mixture of emotions. I'm only 25. I just turned 25, so it is really weird to say that at 25 my childbearing years are over. And it's weird and also exciting to say that, because now I get to just focus on the 3 babies that I have. I feel like for the past 6 years, it's almost been 6 years since I've been a mom. I feel like for the past 6 years, I have been like either pregnant, breastfeeding, TTC, going through infertility, having a miscarriage. Like, there has been so much that has happened in the past 6 years. If you guys didn't know my whole story, we had actually tried for my first daughter when I was 19 years old. I had just turned 19, so it's been exactly 6 years since we started that TTC journey. We got pregnant 2 months later. I got pregnant with her, and then gave birth, and then started breastfeeding and breastfed for 9 months. And then the same month that I stopped breastfeeding, my daughter is crying. I'll be right back. Sorry. She says hi. But yeah, where was I? Okay. So when I was 9 months postpartum, we had decided to start trying for a second baby. And the very first month I got pregnant and I had a miscarriage. It was a very early miscarriage, but a miscarriage nonetheless. And I just started that healing journey 1 year ago, almost 2 years ago, and it's been a lot to kind of go through just that. And then on top of that, we had a year-long TTC for my son, and then we got pregnant with him, and his pregnancy was really horrible. And then I had to deal with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. And then obviously when I was 21 months postpartum, we had a little miracle baby down here that we were not planning for. And now I am 4 months postpartum, and I am breastfeeding her. Breastfeeding is going amazing, and it's still not like my body. And I feel like I have not had just my body back in 6 years. It's been 6 years, and I feel like it's just kind of amazing. And she's like the perfect little bow to wrap on our little family present. And I'm just like, I'm happy but sad at the same time. Like I'm 25, you know, like I shouldn't be stopping my motherhood journey. I should be continuing it. And it feels weird, and I feel like it's a societal thing, because society feels like you should just be now starting to try for your family at 25. But I was an early bird, and I started my family at 19, and I don't regret a single second of that. But it is kind of hard, and but it's also it's kind of a sigh of relief that like I never have to go through pregnancy again. I never have to go through birth again. I never have to go through being in the hospital from crazy things that happen in pregnancy. I know, isn't that so silly? Yeah. I never have to go through any of that again, and it feels great to never have to do that again. But anyway, that's kind of it. Also, onto my body. I feel so great. I am back on thyroid meds because every single time, this happens literally every single time, which is why I could never take the mini pill that they give you for birth control after you have a baby, because I forget to take pills. My ADHD kicks in. It is no longer about me once I have a baby, and so like I just kind of pushed myself to the wayside, and it has kind of been like very taxing, but I'm back on my thyroid med, thank God. I feel like I'm finally starting to feel like myself again, but mentally I have been dealing with postpartum depression and postpartum anxiety. I have not said that out loud. It's hard to say those words out loud because with my other two babies, I had postpartum anxiety and postpartum depression within the first month. And I feel like I have felt so good the past 3 months, the first 3 months, and I feel like it kind of bit me in the ass. I was like, oh, I'm out of the clear now. Like, I didn't get it this time, and I don't think that's the case. I am also back on Zoloft. So I am taking my Zoloft again. I also need to up my dose because I'm starting to feel anxiety attacks through the medicine, which is obviously not good. So it's crazy, and it's not fun in the slightest, and so that's what I'm currently dealing with. And I just want you to know, if you're currently dealing with the same thing or you have in the past, you are not alone. It's not talked about enough, and I know why it's not talked about enough, unfortunately, sadly. People see mothers who have postpartum anxiety and depression like they're weak, or like they're a bad mom. I have literally been called a bad mom for having postpartum depression during my last postpartum journey. So yeah, it's definitely hard, and I know why people don't talk about it. It's because it is so hard to open up and talk about that. And yeah, that's currently what I'm dealing with. So yeah. Okay, now onto my birth trauma. I've been healing. I wish I never had to go through that. a lot of people don't understand why I have birth trauma, and you won't understand it until you've actually gone through it. And I don't even think the videos will do justice to what my birth was really like. It's hard. It's really, really hard. I've had to navigate not only my feelings about it, but everyone else's feelings about it, because I'm also on social media. And crazy enough, my birth has gone viral on TikTok multiple times. I have gotten like 14 million views on my birth within the last month. Did not expect that. I truly didn't, because I just didn't. That's never happened in my 5-year career on social media, so there's that. Also, if you guys don't follow me on TikTok, I post way more over there. Like, I post multiple times a day over there, so go over there and you guys can kind of like catch up with my life for the past 4 months. But yeah, I have been, sorry if you can hear her chewing on her fingers. That is literally her favorite toy. So I know. Yeah, it's super yummy, huh? Anyway, so I've just been kind of like dealing with not only my emotions about my birth, but also dealing with strangers on the internet's emotions about it. And a lot of people have been very, very, very kind, but also a lot of people have been very, very confused and have tried to dismiss my trauma and say, well, someone else always has it worse. And it's like, yeah, I could be dead. That would obviously be worse. And I hate playing the someone else has it worse card, because trauma is trauma, and whether you like it or not, every single person on this earth has trauma, and not every single person is going to understand that trauma, because the only person that can say whether something was traumatic was the person that experienced the trauma. And I feel like that's a hard concept for a lot of people to understand, because they always think that their trauma is worse. I just feel like a lot of people don't truly understand trauma to its core, especially birth trauma. They're like, well, you have a baby, your baby is healthy, like, why does it matter? And like, it matters because it is such a psychological phenomenon that happens when we have birth trauma. And I know a lot of people have actually said you immediately forget the pain, and I have a theory. I'm not exactly sure if there's any single bit of research. I'm sure there is. You forget the pain because it's so traumatic. And birth in and of itself is a trauma. Like, your body is going through something traumatic, and whether that be from a vaginal delivery or from a C-section, it's traumatic. And whether it's psychologically traumatic, your body is experiencing the trauma. And I think a lot of people don't view it as that, but it needs to be said. It needs to be out there, and it needs to just, yeah. Anyway, so I've been dealing with my birth trauma for the past 4 months. I have cried nonstop. I've talked about this one other time, and I believe it was on my TikTok, but I'm going to talk about it on here. I have PTSD from my birth. If you guys don't know, I gave birth on my hands and knees on the bed. And this window, our couch was right here before our tree was right there. I moved our couch over there. But anyway, our couch was right here, and I was looking out the window after putting the kids to bed, and I was on the back of the couch like this, propped up, and I had a flashback to my birth of me screaming. and I immediately went into fight or flight mode. And once I got off of the couch, I had an anxiety attack that lasted about an hour. This is the reality of birth trauma. It's not fun. Trust me, I would rather not go through this, but it unfortunately is my story, and it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be told. Even though that birth gave me this beautiful little girl right here, it also gave me a lot of psychological and emotional trauma and depression, and that's not okay. So, oh, I know. Here, I'm gonna feed you. Sorry if you can hear her down here. She's eating. But yeah, that's kind of my entire little update for you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have birth trauma, you are not alone, and it is not a shame to talk about it. Tell your truth, tell your story, and heal. I've actually been looking at going to a therapist. I haven't been to a therapist, and I could definitely use it. I'm trying to look for one that specifically works in birth and postpartum. So that is what I've been up to. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys. She says bye too.